Welcome to Sweeping the Country one more time. I'm your host, Derek Walker. Alongside me, as always, my co-host, and he's always exciting. Just look at you, Mr. Jimmy Carter.
I'm telling you what, the excitement is overwhelming almost at this point.
It is. I got to look away.
Are you a summer guy? No, I used to like summer.
Yeah,
I really
love
like
it.
fall, probably.
More than
Fall
summer?
might be my favorite time of the year.
Why don't you like
I don't
summer?
like it. I live in the South.
Oh,
South is just so damn hot. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
anybody that says they like Florida in the summer is pretty crazy as well, unless you're a beach dweller or something. But
yeah,
I like it. To me, 75 degrees is about as hot as I ever really want it most of the time, and 55 degrees is about as cold as I ever
well,
want
you're
it.
not.
So
You're only
I
giving
should
it.
live in Southern California.
Yeah.
But California's too nutty.
You're giving it 20 degrees leeway, Jimmy. You got to live in San Diego. You got.
I like wearing a sweater and all that stuff. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't like freezing.
Yeah, I
and
get
I
it.
don't like burning up. To me, 100 is the same as 0.
Yeah, as far as
I
misery goes,
they're both horrible. I can't. I mean, I am locked in a cocoon when it's that kind of weather. I'm just like an astronaut.
okay, fine.
It could be anything going on. It could be the dark side of the moon.
Yeah,
I'm the same way at that. I just don't like extremes.
yeah.
But I do love. I had a convertible, and I just never got to use it very much
Because of where you
in
lived.
Nashville, because Nashville just not a convertible town.
Yeah.
Out of 365 days, I could use it in the winter sometimes because I just I turned the heat full blast
And
let
open
the top down.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
That was kind of okay.
What
But in the summer, it was just too hot.
What kind of convertible did you have? What kind of car was it?
A Corvette.
Oh, Jimmy, you don't have that anymore?
I had it in 1999. It was new, and I had it, and it was a great car.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed. That was one of my favorite cars. I really enjoyed it.
They're awesome. Yeah,
it wasn't probably good for anybody that rode with me because this passenger seat is not particularly comfortable.
Yeah.
But for the driver, once you're into that cocoon,
yeah,
which is basically you're like in a cockpit.
Yeah, sure.
It is so great.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like you're an astronaut. You're so comfortable. You're not having to put your arms up like, above your head to reach the steering wheel. It's just like flying a plane.
And
I love it. You generally don't go crazy fast.
Yeah.
I found I drive faster sometimes in this Ford Expedition I have than I did in my Corvette. But Corvette was so doing nothing. I mean, it was at 70, just, it was purring. It wasn't even purring. It was just going.
I'm sad you don't have that anymore. I'm sad.
No, that was a great car, and it had a little bit of something was going on when I was selling it. Computer issue. You just don't want that.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was back in '99 when the computers were a little bit wildly. They were a little bit not dependable. They would boo up, every once in a while.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully they're not that way now. But summer is. I love the beach in the summer afternoons or sunrise in the morning.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Some of those things I just you can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
But the humid, mosquitoes, that kind of stuff, is not fun to me. But I loved like being in the great Northwest. I didn't discover the Northwest part of the country, which would be northern, western Washington, until really much, much later in life. I also didn't discover Maine until much later in life. And both are really great for a Southerner in August. Oh my God. It's
you're right. You're right.
The weather is so great and the weather is so bad. And anywhere in the deep South, Georgia, Mississippi, Texas is an inferno.
Yeah.
It's just
dry and hot.
It's really horrible.
Is it humid in Texas too?
Yes, and Houston certainly is.
No, thank you.
It's the worst of the worst places because Houston was a swamp.
Yeah.
That's the Allen brothers. That was a land development by a couple of guys called the Allen brothers. And it was swamp. And they were selling swampland, and pouring sand in the swamp. And
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's some of the great histories of Houston. But it's kind of the fringes of the Wild West.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole nother deal. But at the time it was something.
You said
Texas, on the coast, it's just rough to be there. Now in the wintertime, Texas is like Florida.
Yeah.
Houston is very similar to the weather in Orlando or Tampa or something. It can get cold, but it never gets if it's cold in Houston, like, 10 or something,
Yeah.
then it must be minus 15, in Michigan,
Yeah.
something like that.
That
So,
is, I'll tell
yeah,
you, you're right. You said you discovered the Northwest late in life, and that is one thing I do appreciate about the Northwest is that we really don't. I mean, we have snow, that's brutal, but we don't have really humid. We don't have really hot. We don't have a lot of earthquakes. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have tornadoes. We really
yeah.
don't have. We do have a pretty a
You do get
volcano
winter
that.
though, and you get winter
That's true.
harder than we can do. Most
That's
Southerners
true. Yeah,
couldn't
that is
stand
true.
your winters. We'd be freaked, we'd be gone. I
Yeah.
mean, like I've heard my crazy brother Ted
Yes.
say, crazy Ted, if he was rich, he would do what a lot of people do: 6 months in one place and 6 months
Yeah.
in another place.
Yeah.
And that would be ideal, because there's nothing any better than Miami in January. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic in January. And Southern California, most of the time, if you live like in Santa Monica or somewhere.
Mhm.
Now, this time of year actually is bad
Why?
in Southern California.
What's-
It's called June gloom.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's cloudy most of the time.
Interesting.
In June, late May, in June gloom.
Huh.
And so it's not the
Fascinating.
best time to be there. But, the sunshine and 70 degrees, 65 degrees,
Oh,
which it
yeah.
is a whole lot. It's why people put up with the crap that they do
Yeah.
in Southern California.
My
because
dad
of-
would never get out of there. He would never go anywhere. He just loved it. And he said it's sunny 364 days a year.
Yeah, that's why they put Hollywood there.
Yeah,
I mean,
is it? Yeah.
Hollywood was located there because they could shoot movies outdoors most of the time.
Fascinating. That makes sense. I mean,
And when it does rain, it's a mess, because you know how it is in most normal places. If it hasn't rained in 10 days or something, which it can do almost anywhere,
yeah, sure.
the roads are like slick as
You're
grease,
right, right.
because it's all that oil buildup on the roads,
Yeah.
tires and everything.
Yeah.
And boy, when it does that in California, they're slipping and sliding, and then the whole mountainsides come down.
Yeah.
I mean, they just problem with the coastal parts of California is they just got so much mayhem that goes on. State Farm is not even, I think, selling insurance out there anymore.
Well, and then the earthquake country, right? I mean,
Earthquakes,
oh,
the
geez.
wildfires,
Yeah. Yeah.
the wild animals that'll eat your dog and you too if you let them. Mountain lions that show up in your
It's
backyard.
true. I mean, it is
If you're
true.
a millionaire, they still got that.
Yeah.
Coyotes. I was living in my hotel in Burbank one morning, really right at sunup.
Right.
I looked up, there were 3 coyotes looking right at me about 50 yards away. And I think they were
Yeah.
deciding, because they're brave when there's 3
Oh,
of
yeah,
them
because
or
they're
4.
they're right there in the city. They come right down in California.
Yeah, I mean, if it's one of them, they're scaredy cats. But
Yeah.
if it's 3 or something, they get pretty brave, and you can't scare them off.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
got my car and I was gone. But man, there's every kind of woolly booger in the world out there. Mountain
Yeah.
lions,
And we haven't
coyotes.
we didn't even touch politics.
Yeah, and
So
this,
there's that.
just plain crazy people, and Charles Manson, and,
Oh,
that's
that's
people
right.
like that,
Yeah,
and
that's
just
right. The
nutty
Hearst
people.
family.
And speaking of, and then in New York, I love New York in the fall, though. That was my favorite time to be.
Yeah,
up
New
there.
York is cool.
It really
I
was,
like New York.
because I was teaching school up there a couple of once a week, and go up there, and man, it was so nice. And September is still a little warm, but then October, right before it changes over, this is just wonderful with
Beautiful,
the leaves
yeah.
turning in New England. I mean, the best thing would be to be rich and be able to be in your different seasons, where like October in New York City, and so is around Christmas is nice too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because it used to be when you did have chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Mhm.
Now you've got people that knock you in the head
Yeah.
up
Right.
there. I was just looking at some mother with their baby at a park.
Ugh.
They were just there. And all of a
Oh.
sudden, some crazy homeless person just grabbed her by the hair and dragged her around.
Oh,
And,
jeez.
and no one's joining in to help. No one's helping. But there's a slew of people around. Someone called the cops. 30-minute response time.
Oh my
30-minute response
gosh.
time in Manhattan somewhere, really close. And and they grabbed the crazy person and took them off. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to say that, but they are crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's sad what's
Yeah.
happened to New York. It's really sad what's happened to New York.
It's interesting you said nobody
And
helped
San
because
Francisco too, my other
the
favorite
big
city
cities,
that
yeah.
I always love to go to in the summertime.
yeah.
I mean, I used to take that song seriously. I left my heart in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Now you literally will leave your heart in San
yeah,
Francisco.
yeah, they'll take it out.
Because it's so scary. Would you walk down Market Street near the in
No,
down there, wherever they call that,
no,
near the.
I've heard Market Street is dying because none of the
Oh,
businesses
that
can
every
even
store is
open.
closed. Every
Yeah,
building, it's just terrible.
and it used to be
And
so
all these
cool.
and down there where Channel 5 television is, I'm sure is terrible.
Yeah,
Uh, it's down there, on the
KPIX.
Embarcadero, I think is what they call that.
Yeah, that used to
And
be beautiful, and you'd go there at night with your friends, and you go along the wharf. The Fisherman's
I
Wharf was
stayed at
great.
Hotel the Hyatt there,
Yeah.
in Embarcadero Hyatt.
Oh yeah.
And that was one of the many places I've stayed there. But I just feel sorry. That town is so great. I love it, but
Yeah.
not anymore. It is not great.
Do you remember the
It is
guys?
great bad. I love the Presidio.
Oh
I
yeah.
always told Robin Williams, we were discussing some stuff once, and I said, man, if I could live anywhere, I'd live, in Pacific Heights,
Oh yeah.
which is,
Beautiful.
really, really big money there and everything.
Oh
But
yeah. No doubt about it.
that would be just great to look out and see the bay. Now, I did have a friend that was going to the Culinary Institute,
Mm-hmm.
and they had graduated. They were a confection
Ooh.
chef,
Yeah.
so they made desserts,
Yeah.
and I stayed a couple of days in another area near Pacific Heights, but that place is spooky. When it comes like some parts of the year about 3 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
the fog rolls in,
Oh, it
and it
does. Yeah.
rolls in just it's like here it comes. It's
Yeah.
like watching a tornado come in,
Yeah.
and it comes in, and all of a sudden the city is dark.
Yeah.
And the street lights come on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and
Yeah.
it's just weird. It's
I,
a strange humidity. It's a damp place,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes so it's just everywhere is so fascinating. That's why you got to travel. But I have a hard time that when most people used to travel was the summer.
I
You
remember.
traveled with your parents, you traveled as an adult,
Oh
you
yeah.
traveled with your kids, whatever. And I would never I don't want to go to San
Well,
Francisco
for
anymore.
one, it's filthy. I mean, and the crime is awful.
It's
But
all that. It's just,
yeah,
you're on your own. New York City too.
same
Now,
thing. Yeah.
tourists are going up there to beat the band. They're going up there to see Broadway again.
Are
I was
they?
just listening to a guy that I've known who operates Patsy's restaurant
Mm-hmm.
uh, in New York, not too far from
Is
Central
it
Park.
coming back?
It it has to a point, but a lot of those restaurants like Patsy's, Rosie O'Grady's is closing down. I mean,
Hmm.
the 21 Club is gone. I mean, there's still some great restaurants, of course, in New York, but a lot of things have shut down. They can't get anybody to work.
What about Carnegie
The bus
Deli?
boys and stuff like that. I don't know if it's still there. It may
I
be
love
gone.
that place. That was a cool place. That was
It's just that town's got COVID
wiped it out.
killed it in so many ways,
Yeah.
because they can't get
That's
help.
sad.
People that clean the bus boys and stuff like that can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're keeping the hotels clean. I don't know
I don't
how
either.
they're doing.
I don't
They
either.
may not be,
Maybe
but
not.
it's just New York City is a mess.
I wonder.
In Los Angeles, I haven't been there in so long. It's just if the other part of the coin is if the town is sort of okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's so expensive that I don't know how people can afford $300 and $400 a night hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Just maybe one time you could save up your money,
A splurge. Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
you're there on a 2-day weekend, and your hotel bill's $800 or $900.
Right. Right.
There are many people that can play that game.
Yeah. You pull that off.
That's the other side of this.
Yeah, the cost. I remember just going back. You talking about San Francisco brought back so many memories because as a kid I spent some time there, going to Candlestick Park and watching the Giants and stuff like that.
My daddy took me to Candlestick Park. I froze my butt off.
It was so windy there.
I was so cold.
It was awful.
So cold watching I was back when Willie Mays was playing.
Oh, and McCovey and all those guys.
When I was a kid, and we were bar associates, we would go to all these towns for the bar association.
Oh yeah, that was the worst. It was the worst. But oh
my God, I froze.
Yeah.
And every time as I was working, I would go to San Francisco to work. I'd always forget. And I'm leaving Alabama in August, so I'm burning up.
Yeah, right.
And I get to San Francisco, and it's so damn cold. I'd have to buy me. They used to sell these fleece pullovers.
Yeah.
At the wharf and everywhere else, or even go to Macy's at Union Square, and I'd buy me some kind of jacket.
Yeah.
I have more of San Francisco outerwear than anything I've ever seen. But again, I love so much of that town. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I hate it that I can't go there anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's so screwed up, And I don't think it's just, I think it really is screwed up. I don't think it's just the news people acting like it's screwed up.
Yeah.
Too much. seen too much.
I
And
haven't
it's
been
just a
so long.
shame, in Seattle, their homeless problem that they can't get under control
In
or don't want
Portland, I
to,
mean,
or whatever the deal is.
yeah, Portland, Oregon, same problem. I mean, they have the same thing downtown. It's just filthy. It's just filthy, and it could be cleaned up. It was a little cleaner at one time, and Seattle was probably the cleanest city I ever remember going to, and it's a mess now. It is. It's a total
And it's a
mess.
shame
Yeah.
because a lot of people are, I mean, I don't know if it's just America at this point,
Oof.
and all our cities are screwed up because of all the messed up politics that we've had for so long.
Maybe
But
so.
I've wanted to look into. I wonder because we don't get news coverage. We can't trust a lot of the news coverage we get now.
Well,
Is I wonder really how London is and how Paris is.
boy,
If they're okay, are they the same way? As our American cities are. We just don't hear about it.
I
They
don't
don't
know,
cover the
but
news.
I would
I
love
don't
to
know
see
either,
it.
but it would make me nervous to find, to want to find out because I'd love those cities too.
I'd love to see him for the first time, but I don't want to go to a San Francisco. I don't want to go to a Seattle. I want to go to
Right.
London. I want to see that. I want to go to, I want to go to some of the places, the
I
iconic
mean, some of these
places.
towns are having, disturbances, and we haven't had any, knock on wood, terrorism lately
Yeah, it's been pretty
in those
light.
towns,
Yeah.
because there was some stuff going on, but I don't hear about that, anymore. So I don't know.
Well, I can tell you this.
Summer was such a great time. And then I had something uh, removed from my shoulder last week about the size of a pencil eraser.
Okay.
At the dermatologist, I said, "This is a funky little place." So she cut it out
Yeah.
and sent it off for biopsy. So I don't know, but I mean, it just reminded me as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I used to burn. I mean,
Oh
we'd go
yeah.
outside and just roast. We were like roasted pigs,
And
out there
peel. You would
in the
peel the
sun and
skin.
peel, and that being pick the skin off and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But man, just how stupid was that?
Yeah. Well, we
For
didn't
skin
know. I
cancer
mean, we didn't
purposes, and
know.
no one really knew. I think we had some type of copper tone, but that didn't do anything.
Yeah, it
That was
was
just like putting
butter.
that made it worse, probably.
Yeah, that was like putting butter on. That was that and smoking cigarettes and all that stuff. We didn't know at the
Yeah.
time. I mean, that whole thing was, I mean, that was just, we were learning all about it. So, yeah, our skin is probably not in the
Getting
best shape.
suntan though, we would play outside till nighttime.
Yeah.
And when we always had to come home when the street. These kids don't relate to this at all.
Yeah.
Because their helicopter parents, for good reason,
They're not going to be outside.
don't let them even outside half the time.
Exactly.
And they're so possessed with computers,
Yeah.
which I probably would have been too if I'd have been if I'd have had that. I would have too.
Yeah, I probably would have
But
too.
I
But
didn't have that, so
Yeah.
we had to go outside and play with the roly polies and
Right.
and just,
Those bugs, those little
build,
bugs
play
that
with
you
the bugs or chase the fireflies, do something,
That's true, man.
because there wasn't anything else to do.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I remember, when the moon landing was on that July night.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks said he did the same thing, so I think a lot of people did. Laying on my back in the backyard, looking up there at
Trying
the
to
moon,
see
seeing
him.
if I could
Yeah.
seeing anything. Like, what a moron!
Yeah,
What an idiot!
That's funny, but it is. I mean, think of that. What kind of things bring that magnitude to everyone anymore? You know what I mean? That was
Nothing.
everybody in the world was watching that. And then now
It's just and some of the and I have had some very good experiences as a younger person,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
at outdoor concerts in the summer.
Oh, they're.
I mean, I
great.
remember
Yeah.
going on with a blanket because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care about going. I took my niece
Yeah.
to this amphitheater, and we got a grass ticket, which was like almost nothing.
Those were
'Cause,
great, though. Yeah.
we
those
took
were
a
great.
blanket, went out there, and sat there
Yeah.
and listened to Mr. Sting.
Yeah.
And I wasn't particularly, thought their music was okay.
Yeah.
But what a nice night that was
Oh,
to
yeah.
his music out there with the moon and all that. And I remember going to the Greek Theater, seeing John Denver one night, and that was beautiful place. 'cause it's
outdoor.
kind of in the woods there in Los Angeles and in Griffith Park.
Oh,
And
great.
that was just, so somebody in Hollywood. I've been to a lot of nighttime things, particularly in California,
Yeah.
Pacific Amphitheater, for those of you that are still listening.
Oh, yeah.
After we dumped on California so bad,
But we have a lot of great
saw
memories.
Bonnie Raitt,
Yeah.
I mean, there was just California there is a reason why people put up with all that stuff, though, because
That is true. I mean, that is
so
true.
great to be outdoors and be a little cool,
Yeah.
at night.
I remember seeing you'll go with me on this one, and a lot of people that are younger won't know, but I saw Harry Belafonte at Concord
Well,
Pavilion outside on a
okay.
blanket with Tupperware drinks. We had drinks
Wow.
in Tupperware because you couldn't bring in glass. And that was when they used to let you bring your own drinks in. Now they charge you for it. But that was way back. But what a great show that was. I mean, that was just fantastic.
There's just so many, fun things. There are places you want to go, and there's places you don't want to go. Like Las Vegas, you don't want to go there in the summer because it's
It's
so
too damn hot.
ridiculously
Yeah.
hot. But you sometimes can get a decent rate. But understand everything's gone crazy price, even there,
Yeah.
high.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get the cheap hotel rooms and food and all that stuff
That's
anymore.
right.
And they've made the odds worse for gambling. So
Yeah, that's right. They just did that.
so
Yeah.
it's there. But I mean, think of all the different cities. You don't go to the Caribbean in the summer. I made that mistake one time.
Yeah.
A friend of
Yeah.
mine got a deal to go to Jamaica, and it
Yeah.
was in August. And so he asked me. He said, for $300, we
Yeah.
can go to Negril, Jamaica, on Air Jamaica from Orlando for like $300 for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think so. So we did it. And man, you got down there,
So
it was
hot.
Africa hot. I mean, it was really, really, you had
Yeah.
to stay in your room. It was so hot. Nighttime was okay, but
Yeah.
late afternoon was okay. But boy, when that sun was out, golly, that was bad.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt
And
about
so
it.
it's just you don't want to go down there in the summertime. But but obviously in the winter
Oh, it'd be
around
great.
Christmas,
Yeah.
it's heavenly. That's
Yeah.
why the prices are so different and all that stuff. But
Does Maui have a bad season? I mean, does Hawaii in general have a hot
yeah, I think
season?
they do. They have some. They have a. I think there's a rainy season over there at some
Oh
point,
yeah, so you want to
and I don't
avoid
remember
that,
when
huh?
it is, but I think there is a rainy season
Yeah.
over there. But I don't think it's ever that horrible. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they do get some rain, and when they do, it's buckets
Yeah.
of rain.
The monsoon style, huh?
But yeah, but also you can go over there and get. I don't remember the time of year. One of the times I was there, but it didn't. It was really a cool. I guess they call that the trade winds
Oh yeah.
were blowing. And the temperature, if the wind wasn't blowing, would have been very warm
Yeah.
and it would have been hot. But somehow the the rays of the sun are more direct or something there, but
Yeah.
you didn't feel them because of the cool wind. I got
Interesting.
more sunburn than I ever did in my life was in Hawaii.
Yeah,
I was I was Felix the lobster in my head. I was
and you just pee.
completely red, peeled. I mean, it was bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it was really, really bad, but I didn't feel it happening.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
different.
feel it at all. It was completely comfortable.
The heat is different all over the country. I know in the Northwest it feels like a searing heat, but I'll tell you one place that I've gone in the summertime that was a reprieve, and that was Alaska. It was nice.
Oh yeah, well,
Ah,
the
75.
last time I was there, though, they were having a damn heat wave,
Oh, jeez.
and they don't do that worth a toot.
They do.
They don't do that well at
It's like
all.
the
And
Midwest getting snow.
oh my God, I mean, we had to raise the windows, and then the sun never sets
Oh, it's daytime all day.
in
Yeah.
the summertime. And
Yeah.
they only get 2 or 3 hours of darkness every
That's right.
day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it never cooled down, even though the water's cool, and the winds just weren't blowing, and it was hot. And I remember they found a fan for us, and I put it in a window because I cannot sleep when I'm really hot. I
Yeah. Oh,
can't do
it's
it.
brutal. It's
When I'm
brutal.
cold, I can kind of curl up
Yeah.
in a
Get another
ball
blanket.
somehow, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can curl up and mostly get warm.
Yeah.
But I can't get cool if it's no air conditioning and the air's not moving. Oh my God, that was bad. But yeah, Alaska is good until it isn't.
Generally, yeah, generally it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you just don't want to catch people on their crazy sides.
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right. Exactly.
you want to try to catch them in their changing of the season, not really in the middle of any season because it
You
can go cuckoo.
you spent a lot of time in Nashville, obviously. That has a hot season too, and the summertime gets
Oh, beginning
brutal.
now,
Is it?
beginning right now, it's
So
pretty
if you're
damn
going to
hot.
Nashville, hold off.
It's hot until the second week or so in October,
Oof.
and then the fall comes in, and then sometimes the rain comes in after
Yeah.
a couple of weeks of dry and cool. Then
Mm-hmm.
the rain starts coming in before Thanksgiving, and that's when the weather starts to get cool, and it doesn't get cold.
Yeah.
Back in the days when weather was normal, it didn't get cold till really January.
Yeah.
There was 6 weeks there. 1st of January to Valentine's Day was winter
Yeah. So a
at one
winter
point,
trip.
but but everything is, all bets are off now.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
crazy.
You never know. You never know.
Nobody's weather is the same as it used to be.
That's true. So I'll ask you, come out for the summer to Boise, although it does get a little hot. It does get a little
Yeah, it
warm.
gets hot and you don't do it well because you don't have a lot of air
I
conditioning.
have air. My place now has air, and your hotel will have air, and we'll have a
What is the
pool.
temperature you normally have? Well, I remember when I was up in Sandpoint. I
Trying to
think that was
see.
okay, but it was,
Oh, that
there
was
was forest fires. That's one thing I don't like
yeah.
up
That's
there
true.
when it becomes fire season.
Yeah, you
For
can't
me,
breathe.
breathing, that is not a good thing for me to breathe when the whole place catches on fire
Yeah.
up there. That's a really bad time to be there,
Okay, so right
and that's
now,
August. So,
7 o'clock. It'll get dark at 9:30. We're light till 9:30.
yeah,
82, 80, 82.
82 with what kind of humidity is the question?
None. We don't have
None. It's dry
humidity.
as a
Yeah,
bone.
we're dry. So it's 90 tomorrow, and then 80, 80, 78, 82, 84, 80, 87, 84. You can do it.
Yeah, it just depends. But see, I want. Let's see. Wait.
I'm going to check your
See, it's
humidity.
too hot in this room right now. It's 74 in here. Outside,
Humidity.
it's 82, and
Humidity. Does this mean anything to you? 33%.
that's low.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
pretty
sure the
darn low.
firefighters don't like it to be that low.
No,
That's
it's
getting
definitely
pretty.
fire season. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
They haven't started yet, so you have a small window. Once they start, cancel the
So I
flight.
say we got to win the lottery so we can be mobile in a
Bounce
jet
around.
to be able to go wherever you want
That's
to
right.
go. I was
That is
looking at
right.
somebody, what, 400 something, some worker,
Yeah, and then we could afford the brand new.
handyman. Let's see. Wait, here's the handyman deal.
Yeah.
Let's see what he did.
How many millions did he
A
walk
couple
away
of
with?
people have won 476 million.
That's enough. I
Once
could
worked
live
in
on that.
Manhattan high rises. He bought the tickets at Liberty Beer in Ozone Park. Usual stops to pick Mega Millions.
That's
The
nice.
store got $10,000 bonus
That's
for
nice
selling
too.
the lottery ticket. They were
That's
thrilled
not
about
much,
that.
boy. They don't get much, do they? Well, it's better than nothing.
They're
I guess.
tight.
Yeah,
They're tight.
yeah. That would be nice.
There
Yeah,
was,
I would bounce around and fly into different. I'd have a house in the up
unless
north,
it's the
and
plane that got loose, like the one
that's
that
true.
terrible situation. That was bad. That's one of the bad sides of getting rich.
Yeah.
You got to be rich big. You have 2 pilots.
Ooh, that was rough. That was terrible. Scramble some F-16.
252 million winning Powerball tickets sold in Ohio. Mega Millions number drawn with 441 million jackpot. They've had some really big.
I'm glad you brought this
jackpots.
up because this is my
71-year-old Johnny Taylor of Howard Beach cashed in the
71.
lucky ticket
I hope he took
for
cash value.
476. See, he's not going to live long enough
Right.
to spend that money.
I hope he took the cash value so he got it all because they're just gonna.
Yeah,
he won't get it.
71. I mean, hopefully he'll live and
Yeah.
he's got good health. But
Well, the good news is
you really need to win this when you're like about 45.
Yeah, but the good news for him is since Social Security is going to disappear, he won't have to worry about it. I mean there's that. That's my new retirement plan. Play the lottery. That's the only thing I got. I'm just gambling, Jimmy. I'm throwing the dice. I'm going to live large, and then I'm going to win the lottery, and I'll be able to retire. That's how it works.
And then I was looking at this headline here. Tennessee woman allegedly hires hitman to kill the wife of an Alabama man she met on Match.com. Lord have mercy. She went on the internet, and I'm not going to give you the website, but there was a website. She went on the dark web
to get a hitman.
To get a hitman.
Well, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
And went after. She said, "I'll take a disfigurement by acid, extortion, kidnapping." She was mad at hell hath no fury, as a woman scorned.
Psycho.
Yeah. A woman at home. Let's see. She described the view. Yeah, she even told them about the family had 3 dogs that bark and jump, but nice dogs.
Oh my God! How did they catch this lady? Obviously
on the internet they tracked her down. Homeland Security that got her.
Oh my gosh! So they're on the dark web.
Big Brother got her.
That's good.
Yep, Big Brother got her. I guess finding people that are looking for people for hitman.
Yeah, you got to watch that.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, you got to. I don't know how you do it old school if you need
summer's
hitman.
a great time. I have wonderful. I remember swimming lessons were in that cold water. I remember jumping in that.
It was never heated,
water.
was it? Yeah.
Mrs. Bricken was the teacher.
Oh
jumping
my
in
God.
that cold water. Hear my teeth.
Yeah. They never heated pools back in the day. They were always just heated by the sun.
I never heard of one.
Yeah.
I remember that, and I just remember
I love it.
running around burning up all the time. And, it was an interesting, time of the year. I didn't like snakes, which appeared.
Yeah.
in the South.
Oh, they do.
sometime in
Yeah,
the summer.
they do. They do.
Yeah, but and I like the ocean though. I was an ocean guy. Now there's all kinds of woolly boogers in the ocean. I don't think
Well,
you want to get out there anymore.
you didn't even think about it when you were a kid, but I see the kids
I
just
don't. I'm
got out of
just
school.
staying here because I'm scared to go anywhere.
Oh no, this is reminiscent of Ted. Come on, Jimmy. Now,
Yeah,
snap out
I,
of it.
I get it. Because you read all these stories. I don't want to do anything. It's but also, and that I may take that a little too far what you've heard tonight. But
Yes,
take it, dude. Do pay attention because this is not fake news. It's real.
Yeah.
Of the bad things going on in cities like San Francisco.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Any big city in America, Chicago and all that. Yeah, it's just it really is. It's all over town now. It's not in just the bad sections of town. It seems to be all over the place. And in Manhattan, they've had many a tourist knocked in the head, down around the theater district and stuff like that. So
so beware.
And I don't know how you and then you've just got other issues. So just be careful when you plan your trip and don't say, well, it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah, boy.
Because there's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
With police and lack of police and all that stuff right now. So
be aware.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, always.
Yeah, be aware because it is a real deal.
Yeah.
Real deal.
No doubt about it. And always good to chat with you this week on Sweeping the Country. Enjoyed that tremendously. And again, if you're traveling, be aware of your surroundings for sure. And, if you're going to take the
Keep
family.
Your doors locked. Don't go to the gas station and fill up at night.
Yeah, all that stuff. Use the extra lock in the hotel door.
You have no business being anywhere in your town or anybody else's town after 11 o'clock at night.
Now, Jimmy, wait a minute. What about karaoke bars? I mean, we got to do that when you're here.
You need to be home because all the bad stuff that I report on
one more
is
time.
1 or 2 in the morning. It's always 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and you don't want to be out.
Get your
nobody.
Nothing good happens after what? 11 o'clock.
Nothing good happens after 10 o'clock with what it used to be. I think that's still pretty much right.
Well, get your ticket, and we'll go to the karaoke bar and get out by 11. And then
I don't want to hear anyone sing karaoke. I can't think of anything more painful than going to a karaoke bar, really. I just can't think of anything much more painful.
Until
bad people singing music.
Until next week on Sweeping the Country, I'm Derek Walker. He is...
I'm Jimmy Carter.
And he's anti-karaoke, too. Until next time, good day.